Wednesday, January the 25th, 2017, and this is your Barbados Today Evening Update. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. Topping the news at this hour, the contentious 15-story Hyatt-centric resort for Bay Street, the city, will get planning permission to build. Word of this from Prime Minister and Minister responsible for town planning, Frandil Stewart. Addressing the first Barbados Chamber of Commerce and Industry luncheon for 2017 at the Hilton Resort today, Prime Minister Stewart said that within 1 week, he should be in a position to give planning permission for the project to go ahead. He said construction will then expected to begin in the first half of this year. This project, said Stewart, was but one of the many tourism development schemes that are in the pipeline and which should rake in just over $1 billion and boost employment.
I should like to say here today that in my capacity as Minister responsible for town planning matters, within the next 7 days, I expect to be in a position to give planning permission for the downtown Hyatt project, by which time all of the outstanding preconditions would have been satisfied. This permission, of course, will be subject to all of the necessary conditions that would protect the wider interests of the Barbadian community. I fully expect, therefore, that this project will commence sometime in the first half of 2017.
The Barbados Economic Society says the central bank governor's latest economic review leaves plenty unanswered questions. Society President Jeremy Stephen was, however, generally upbeat about the 1.6% economic growth for last year, the performance of the tourism sector, the dip in unemployment, and the generally positive outlook. But he says an explanation is needed for the 10% unemployment quoted by the bank governor, Dr. Delisle Worrell, while the actual income from tourism needed to be revealed in light of record long-stay arrivals. Businesses that wantonly exploit their employees through the use of loopholes and ambiguities that exist within the Employment Rights Act were given a severe tongue-lashing by trade union icon Sir Roy Trotman. Speaking in the upper chamber this morning, the independent senator who was addressing the amendments to the Holiday with Pay Act 2017 expressed an urgent need to plug the loopholes which were found throughout the Employment Rights Act. New political party Barbados Integrity Movement, or BIM, joins with the Clement Payne movement in formally asking the Fair Trading Commission to conduct a comprehensive investigation into the proposed controversial sale of Barbados National Terminal Company Limited to the Sol Group of companies. The party has gone even further in launching a petition calling for a halt to the sale in order to engage a transparent and equitable process that will not injure the viability of this country's vulnerable economy. BIM's political leader, Neil Holder, has therefore put forward some alternative solutions, including giving credit unions a piece of the pie.
The other option would be for the credit union movement, Rubis and Sol, to equally share in that 49%, where the credit union movement's local dollars can go toward clearing off the existing debt, and Rubis and Sol can bring the dollars in to buy their portion. So we basically split it up 16.33% between the three entities. And that takes care of some of the foreign exchange issues that they currently have. The government still maintains 51% controlling interest, with the ability at a later to sell further shares for additional revenue. I'm saying that we do not need to sell the family pearls or give them away.
And for President of the Clement Payne movement, David Comanchon, he wants the FTC's investigation to explore all of the possible anti-competition and monopolistic implications of the oil terminal's sale to Sol. In sport, Trinidad and Tobago's 2008 silver medal 4x100 meter team will be promoted to gold after Jamaica's Nesta Carter tested positive for a banned substance. The decision was confirmed by the International Olympics Committee today. This means that TNT will receive the gold medal. The development takes Usain Bolt down to 8 gold medals, and he loses his record of having won triple gold at the past 3 Olympics.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Read all about it, read all about it. Get your paper. Only $2.25. Let's get your paper.
You again with that stale news from yesterday. I got the Barbados today on my phone, and I just get my news for free.
What do she?
The Barbados Today, news you can trust.
In regional news now, law enforcement officers in some parts of Trinidad are being branded as corrupt police who encourage crime. The police top brass itself is expressing concern with what it says is unprofessional behavior by officers.
Residents of La Hoqueta claim corrupt police officers are to blame for the crime situation in their community. They also complained about the behavior displayed by some officers.
They went by phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, 4, whatever, and picked up a whole thing of men. You know what got me angry that night? They want me to sit and arrest again. And I said, Kima, who's here? Anya. And they were very upset.
Deputy Commissioner of Police Harold Phillips says he was disappointed by the unprofessional conduct exhibited by some officers.
We have been embarking upon quite a substantial amount of training in customer service. We have even been doing training in peer review.
Lack of a stable police youth club in the community was another issue raised.
But I wanted the police and youth and community to really bond. And again, I was disappointed. We had an officer, I don't want to go into any details, because when I went to the inspector, he thought I was getting kicked. But I told him, I said, well, this is an event. I told parents, 2 and 7 trying to that. They wouldn't send him, and he thought I was getting kicked. So I hope that when you all think about it, having this youth club again, that we really need, that you all will consider who you send, and they are serious.
On the international scene, President Donald Trump has issued an executive order for a wall to be built along the southern U.S. border with Mexico. Trump says construction will start within months. He also signed an action to strip funds from U.S. cities that are sanctuaries for undocumented immigrants. Trump said in a TV interview that Mexico would absolutely 100% reimburse the U.S. for his wall.
Ultimately, it'll come out of what's happening with Mexico. We're going to be starting those negotiations relatively soon, and we will be in a form reimbursed by Mexico, which I've always said.
So they'll pay us back?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Yes.
So the American taxpayer will pay for the wall at first?
All it is we'll be reimbursed at a later date from whatever transaction we make from Mexico.
Mexico's president said in recent days that Mexico absolutely will not pay, adding that it goes against our dignity as a country and our dignity as Mexicans. He says, quite simply, they're not paying.
David, I think he has to say that. He has to say that. But I'm just telling you, there will be a payment. It will be in a form, perhaps a complicated form. And you have to understand, what I'm doing is good for the United States. It's also going to be good for Mexico. We want to have a very stable, very solid Mexico.
When does construction begin?
As soon as we can. As soon as we can physically do it. We're
within months?
I would say in months, yeah. I would say in months. Certainly planning is starting immediately.
And finally, U.S. Emmy Award-winning actress Mary Tyler Moore has died at the age of 80. She was best known for her television roles in the 1960s sitcom The Dick Van Dyke Show and the eponymous The Mary Tyler Moore Show in the 1970s. She was also nominated for Best Actress Oscar in 1980 for the film Ordinary People. And that's news and sports, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. Also subscribe to our e-paper email updates and like us on Facebook. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as Channel 99 on Flow TV and Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic evening.